An old starship was abandoned with a note. A human mechanic unlocked its secret. The space station hung silently in orbit around a dim star, a relic itself of human ambition. Metal corridors stretched in all directions, filled with a hum of machinery and the occasional chatter of engineers, traders, and travelers from dozens of worlds. Among them worked Alex, a human mechanic who had grown up in the industrial zones of Mars and knew every type of engine, circuit, and mechanical fault one could imagine. Alex's days were filled with routine repairs, oiling engines, fixing wiring in cargo ships, and patching hull plates that suffered from asteroid dust or old space wars. But underneath the routine there was a restless curiosity. Alex always wanted more than the predictable hum of a repair bay. Alex wanted to find something different, something that reminded them why humans had reached the stars in the first place. It was during one of these quiet nights, when most of the station's workers were resting in their quarters, that Alex found it. Hidden in a long-forgotten docking bay was a starship that looked older than anything Alex had ever seen. Its hull was scratched, dented, and covered with a layer of space dust, as though it had drifted for centuries without anyone noticing. The craft was small but sleek, with curves that seemed organic rather than engineered, and faint traces of symbols along its surface. But what caught Alex's attention was the note taped to the hull, protected under a scratched layer of transparent coating. It was simple, yet strange. The paper itself was brittle, and the ink had faded to a silvery gray. The message was written in an alien script, but beneath it, someone had drawn a small sketch, a circle with lines radiating outward, almost like a heartbeat or a pulse. Alex's fingers hovered over the note. "Only the one who understands life can awaken me," they whispered, translating the symbols intuitively. It was more than curiosity now. This was a challenge. The station's AI warned against unauthorized docking and tampering. Warning: unknown craft detected. Unregistered vessel. Risk level high. Alex ignored the AI. Curiosity was stronger than caution. The mechanic carefully maneuvered the old starship into a small repair bay, away from the main docking area. The bay was cluttered, full of spare parts and old hull panels, but it was perfect. Here Alex could work without distractions. The first attempts to activate the ship failed. Panels refused to respond, screens stayed black, and the airlock wouldn't engage. Yet every time Alex approached, a faint pulse seemed to come from the ship, like it was aware of being watched. The mechanic could almost feel it, an alien heartbeat beneath the metal. Days passed. Alex worked long hours, adjusting circuits, cleaning delicate conduits, and examining the strange symbols etched into the ship's hull. Each panel, each wire seemed alive in some way. When Alex touched them, they shivered faintly as though testing the human's intent. Station engineers passed by, curious about the old ship. "You really think you can fix that thing?" One laughed. "It's from 100 years ago and probably alien. No human can figure it out." Alex just smiled. Maybe it's not about fixing. Maybe it's about understanding. Late one night, as the station's lights dimmed to a soft blue, Alex tried something different. Instead of forcing switches or wiring circuits, Alex stood quietly, placing a hand on the hull and focusing on the pulse that seemed to come from inside the ship. Slowly, the lights along the edge of the doorway blinked once, then twice. The console flickered, showing faint, alien symbols. Alex's heart leaped. It was a response. Small, but unmistakable. The ship was alive, and it had noticed Alex. Excited, Alex spent the next few hours tracing the lines of energy that ran like veins along the ship's interior. Experienced Sam. They were unlike anything human engineers had seen. They reacted to touch, warmth, and even the slightest change in Alex's thought patterns. It was clear that the ship was designed to interface directly with living beings, not just technology. As Alex explored further, a faint recording played. It was fragmented, a whisper in an alien language, but patterns were recognizable. The ship had once been part of a long-lost mission, sent to chart a distant, uninhabited sector of the galaxy. What happened to that mission was unknown. The logs ended abruptly, as if the crew had vanished. or chosen to disappear. Alex could feel the weight of history. This was more than just an old ship. It was a relic, a messenger, waiting for someone capable of understanding life itself. Curiosity became obsession. Alex spent every waking hour in the repair bay experimenting. Touching one panel caused tiny lights to flicker. Speaking softly, the ship seemed to respond. The alien scripts formed patterns that Alex could almost intuitively follow, like a puzzle that only made sense to someone willing to think differently.
There were challenges.
Systems would shut down unexpectedly, panels would lock, and strange energy surges sometimes caused sparks. But Alex never gave up. Each failure was a clue, each spark a hint. Slowly, day by day, a rhythm developed. The ship was not just machinery, it had its own intelligence, its own personality. And Alex could feel it testing them, assessing whether they were patient, creative, and willing to understand, not just control. One evening, the station's sensors picked up a faint hum. It was unlike any engine noise. It was soft, melodic, almost alive. Alex realized it was coming from the ship's core. Kneeling beside the engine conduit, Alex placed a hand on the surface. The hum responded, growing slightly louder, pulsing in rhythm with Alex's heartbeat. Alex leaned closer. "I don't know what you want," they whispered. "But I want to understand," the ship seemed to answer, a faint vibration traveling through Alex's hand, like a gentle nod of acknowledgement. By now, other engineers had begun to notice. Rumors spread through the station. A human was working on a ship that no one else could touch, a ship that might hold secrets from a lost age. Some were skeptical, some were curious, but all agreed it was unusual. Alex, however, didn't care about the attention. The mechanic's world had narrowed to the pulse, the hum, the faint glow of alien energy. Each day brought small victories. A console activated. A door opened. A screen displayed symbols that Alex could almost translate. The ship was alive, but it required more than knowledge. It required patience, empathy, and the human touch that no alien or AI could replicate. And then, one quiet morning, as the station orbited the dim star in silence, a new sign appeared. The ship's cockpit lights flickered to life, revealing a holographic display of a star map, faint and fragmented. Alex gasped. This was more than a starship. It was a guardian of knowledge, a vessel that had waited decades, maybe centuries, for someone capable of unlocking its secrets. Alex leaned back, heart racing. The adventure was just beginning. Somewhere in the map were uncharted stars, hidden systems, and mysteries that could change the course of human exploration. And it was all waiting for a human mechanic who dared to understand life. The night ended with Alex still at the ship, tracing the glowing circuits with fingers trembling in excitement. Outside, the station continued its quiet orbit, unaware that a human had just begun a journey that might unlock a new chapter in the galaxy's history. Alex whispered once more, almost to the ship itself, "I don't know what you are, but I think we're going to find out together." And for the first time in decades, the old starship seemed to breathe, pulsing faintly in acknowledgement. The note on the hull had been right. Only someone who understood life could awaken it. And Alex, in that quiet repair bay, had begun to do exactly that. The stars beyond the station seemed to shimmer a little brighter that night. The old starship hummed softly in the quiet repair bay, a sound like a heartbeat, steady and alive. Alex had spent days just feeling its pulse, tracing circuits with fingers that seemed to glow faintly with alien energy. Now, the ship had awakened in small ways. Lights blinked in patterns, panels slid open at a touch, and a faint holographic star map flickered in the cockpit. But the ship's secrets were far from simple. Every attempt to understand the controls revealed more questions than answers. The panels responded not only to touch but to thought, emotion, and intention. It was as though the ship could read Alex, testing every move, every feeling. Alex leaned over a console, brow furrowed. The alien symbols shifted as fingers hovered over them. One symbol seemed to resonate, glowing brighter. Alex pressed it gently, and a soft chime filled the bay. A holographic image appeared, a sequence of interconnected orbs floating in 3 dimensions. They rotated slowly, seemingly alive. "This is a map? A code?" Alex whispered.
I don't understand it yet, but I will. Other engineers noticed. Rumors of Alex and the living ship had spread through the station.
Some were curious, but many were skeptical. "Why bother?" One engineer scoffed as Alex worked late at night. "It's a dead ship. You're wasting your time. No human can figure that out." Alex smiled faintly. "Maybe it's not about what humans can or can't do. Maybe it's about trying." Inside the ship, circuits pulsed in rhythm with Alex's heartbeat. Lights flickered along the hull like veins. The ship was alive in a way that no human, and certainly no AI, could fully understand. Every touch, every thought seemed to elicit a response. It was like a dance, human and Starship learning each other's rhythm. Alex decided to approach the ship differently. Instead of forcing the controls, they studied the patterns, observing how the ship responded to movement, to sound, to light. Each morning began with careful observation, each night with quiet experimentation. Slowly, Alex began to notice patterns in the chaos. Certain sequences of touch and movement caused the panels to glow steadily. Certain tones of voice seemed to make the holographic map rotate in alignment. It was hard work, and sometimes frustrating. Panels would lock, lights would fade, and the ship would go silent, seemingly disappointed. Alex spent long hours in the bay, sketching the symbols, tracing the glowing veins with fingers, and speaking softly to the ship. "I'm not giving up," Alex said one night, alone. "I want to understand. I just need to learn your language." As the days passed, Alex discovered that the ship responded most strongly to creativity. Simple commands did nothing. But when Alex tried unconventional approaches, moving hands in patterns, humming a tune, or imagining the stars as part of a puzzle, the ship's responses became clearer. A panel would open, revealing a hidden compartment. A holographic projection would expand, showing parts of the star map Alex hadn't seen before. One day, Alex noticed a new symbol glowing faintly on the console. Unlike the others, it wasn't static. It pulsed slowly, like a heartbeat within a heartbeat. Alex pressed it, and suddenly, the ship projected a small chamber inside itself, a hidden room with a strange crystalline object at its center. This wasn't on the star map," Alex muttered. "There's something hidden here." Alex opened the hatch to the chamber. Inside, a crystal floated in midair, glowing faintly with an inner light. Alex reached out and his fingers touched the surface. The ship seemed to shiver. Symbols on the walls shifted. Lights pulsed faster, and the holographic map zoomed into a part of the galaxy Alex had never seen before. It was a test. The ship wanted Alex to prove understanding, not just skill, and the crystal seemed to respond to something deeper, intuition and life, not logic alone. Alex realized the key wasn't brute force or clever hacking. It was patience, empathy, and adaptability. The ship was alive. It could sense intent, and only someone willing to engage fully, to think like life itself, could unlock its secrets. The days turned into weeks. Alex began to sleep in short bursts, dreaming of stars and circuits, waking to adjust panels or trace alien symbols. The station staff whispered about the human who seemed obsessed, working with a ship that no one else could understand. Some engineers tried to help, but the ship ignored their attempts. Only Alex could interact with it meaningfully. Then came a breakthrough. Alex discovered that certain movements of hands and fingers, combined with humming specific tones, caused the holographic star map to shift into a pattern resembling a constellation. It was as if the ship was giving a clue, pointing toward something hidden in the galaxy. Excited, Alex shared the discovery with a trusted engineer, Mara. "Look at this," Alex said. "It's not just a map. It's alive. It reacts to thought, movement, intention. We can't just fly it like a normal ship. We have to learn it." Mara watched, eyes wide. "That's incredible. But why would a ship be designed this way?" Alex shrugged. "Maybe it was never meant for just anyone.
Maybe it was waiting for someone who could understand life, not just engines. The station AI chimed in. Warning, unregistered vessel activity detected. Unknown energy patterns increasing. Risk assessment high. Alex ignored it. This was more than risk. It was discovery. The ship was teaching patience, persistence, and creativity. It was showing what humans were capable of: intuition, curiosity, and adaptability. That night, Alex worked late in the bay. The station was quiet, the lights dim. The ship pulsed softly in response to Alex's presence, the air around it tingling with energy. Alex focused on the crystal, imagining the ship moving through the stars, charting unknown systems. Slowly, the crystal began to rotate, projecting a stream of light that connected points on the star map. Alex gasped. "You're showing me something, a hidden path." The realization struck like a comet. This was no ordinary map. It was a star lane network, pointing to uncharted systems far beyond known space. A route that could change exploration forever, and it responded to human ingenuity, not alien strength or advanced AI. But with the discovery came doubt. Other engineers shook their heads. "You can't be serious," one said. "It's a hallucination, a malfunction. No human can make a ship do this." Alex looked at them, calm but determined. "It's not about being able. It's about trying in a way only humans can. The ship responds to life. We understand life differently. That's why it's working with me." The night passed, the ship pulsing and breathing almost like a living creature. Alex stayed at its side, experimenting, learning, and failing. Every failure was a clue. Every small success was a step toward understanding. The hidden chamber, the glowing crystal, and the Starlane map were all pieces of a puzzle that only a human could solve. By the end of the week, Alex had made a critical discovery. The ship communicated in patterns, not words. The pulses, lights, and holograms were all a language of life itself. When Alex moved thoughtfully, responded emotionally, or engaged creatively, the ship answered. When other engineers tried, it remained silent. It was proof of something profound. Humans were uniquely capable of understanding life in a way that other beings, no matter how intelligent, could not. The ship had been waiting for someone like Alex, someone who combined ingenuity with empathy, curiosity with patience. And as Alex stood in the quiet repair bay, hands resting on the glowing panels, the holographic map expanded, revealing more points, more stars, more mysteries waiting in the galaxy. The adventure had only just begun. Alex smiled, a mix of exhaustion and excitement. "I think I understand now," they whispered. "You're not just a ship. You're a guide. And maybe we're ready to explore together." The ship pulsed in agreement, soft but steady, like the first heartbeat of a new journey. Outside, the stars of the Orion sector gleamed quietly, unaware that a human mechanic had begun unlocking a secret that could change the course of exploration forever. The repair bay felt alive in a way Alex had never experienced before. Every panel, every wire, every pulse of light was a response to human touch and thought. The ship no longer felt like a machine. It was a living entity, testing Alex's patience, creativity, and understanding. Weeks of careful observation had brought Alex to this moment. The hidden crystal in the ship's secret chamber pulsed brighter than ever, projecting the Starlane map into the air. But now, it wasn't just a map. It seemed to ask questions. Lines of light shifted and rearranged themselves, forming patterns that demanded intuition, reasoning, and imagination all at once. Alex stared at the holographic network of stars, realizing this was the final challenge. The ship had awakened partially in response to curiosity and effort, but to unlock its full power, Alex would need to understand it completely. "Okay," Alex whispered, "let's see what you want from me." First, the ship tested problem-solving. Holographic nodes floated in midair, each representing a distant system. When Alex touched one node, another shifted in response, sometimes hiding new paths or merging with others. One wrong touch could erase progress, forcing Alex to start over. Alex paused, observing the patterns. Instead of pressing nodes randomly, the mechanic imagined the flow of energy as a river.
watching where it naturally led. Slowly, the nodes began to align, revealing a coherent path through unknown star systems. The ship pulsed in approval. Alex felt the first real connection. It was as if the ship could feel satisfaction in human reasoning. But the ship wasn't finished. Next came the moral challenge. The crystal projected faint images of civilizations, planets with life, cities glowing under alien suns, ecosystems thriving in harmony. The ship asked questions without words. Could Alex make choices that respected life? Could the map be unlocked without harming these worlds? Alex hesitated, feeling the weight of responsibility. A simple shortcut might unlock faster results, but it could destroy the delicate balance of these planets. Carefully, Alex traced paths that avoided interference, adjusting each node to preserve life wherever it appeared. The ship pulsed brighter, the hum growing steady, almost like a purr of approval. "You want me to understand life," Alex said aloud. "Not just systems, not just stars. Life itself." The crystal flared, sending streams of light across the bay. Symbols danced along the walls, forming a language of intuition. Alex realized that the ship had always been alive, but it was designed to recognize empathy, creativity, and patience, qualities humans excelled in, even when machines or aliens could not replicate them. At that moment, the station's AI warned again. Unknown energy fluctuations detected. Risk level critical. Alex ignored it. This was not danger in the usual sense. It was testing, not threat. The ship had awakened far beyond the expectations of the station or any engineer. Alex's focus was absolute. Hours passed in this quiet, intense interaction. Each success unlocked new layers of the ship's interface. Doors that had remained sealed for decades slid open, revealing tiny chambers filled with alien tools, navigation instruments, and star maps more detailed than anything humans had seen. Alex could almost imagine the previous crew, long gone, watching silently, hoping someone would understand. Then came the final test, connection with the ship itself. The crystal floated in midair, projecting a network of light directly into Alex's mind. The sensation was strange, as if the ship's consciousness was merging with Alex's thoughts. The mechanic felt a wave of understanding. The ship wanted a partner, not a pilot. It required not just skill, but intuition, creativity, and trust. Alex hesitated for a moment, realizing the magnitude. "I don't know if I'm ready," they admitted aloud, but the ship pulsed gently, encouraging, almost patient. Alex took a deep breath, letting intuition guide every movement. Fingers traced the glowing nodes, mind imagining the flow of energy, heart attuned to the pulse of the ship. Slowly, the final locks disengaged. The crystal flared with light, casting holographic images across the entire bay. The Starlane map expanded beyond the Orion sector, revealing uncharted systems, hidden wormholes, and star clusters that no one had ever discovered. Alex could feel the ship's excitement, a shared understanding that human ingenuity and empathy had unlocked what others could not. Outside the bay, some engineers had gathered, drawn by the strange energy readings. They watched in awe as the ship's panels shimmered, lights dancing like a living aurora. Alex turned to them, smiling.
"It's alive," Alex said simply.
"And it trusts humans. It trusts me." This is more than technology. It's understanding life itself. The ship responded. Panels shifted, opening a small hatch toward the cockpit. Alex climbed inside, feeling a new sense of connection. The controls no longer required complicated codes or alien languages. Instead, they responded directly to thought, emotion, and intuition. Each movement of Alex's hand guided the ship like a partner moving in perfect sync. Alex explored the Starlane map, selecting routes that led to distant, uncharted systems. The ship glided silently, engines glowing faintly, almost like breathing. It wasn't just a starship. It was a guardian of knowledge, a vessel that waited centuries for someone capable of understanding its life. Other engineers, once skeptical, now whispered in amazement. "No one else could do this. Only a human," Mara said quietly, watching Alex. "We never imagined it possible." Alex smiled, feeling the weight of humanity's potential. It wasn't strength or speed or technology alone that mattered. It was curiosity, creativity, and empathy. That was what had awakened the ship. That was what had unlocked the Starlane map. That was what made humans capable of achieving the impossible. The ship's crystal pulsed in response to Alex's movements, almost joyfully. Together, they traced routes through the galaxy, discovering safe passages, hidden worlds and systems that promised new civilizations, resources, and mysteries. Every star became a possibility, every light a story waiting to be told. Alex realized something profound. The ship had chosen humans not because of strength or intelligence alone, but because of life itself, the capacity to imagine, create, and care. And in that, humans were exceptional. That night, as the station orbited silently, the ship and Alex shared a quiet moment. The holographic Starlane map glowed softly, lights pulsing in harmony with Alex's heartbeat. The old ship, abandoned for centuries, had found its partner. Alex whispered, almost to the ship, "We did it, together. Now we can explore, learn, and protect what's out there." The ship responded with a soft hum, as if agreeing. Its engines glowed faintly, and for the first time the bay felt limitless. Outside, the stars beckoned, unexplored, mysterious, and full of life waiting to be discovered. Alex understood now. The challenge had never been about fixing a machine. It had been about unlocking the potential of life itself. And in that moment, humans had proven what no one else had, that curiosity, patience, empathy, and creativity could overcome even the most advanced alien technology. The ship was ready. The map was ready. And humanity, guided by a single mechanic who dared to understand life, was about to take the first step into a new era of exploration. Alex took one last look at the bay, at the ship that had become more than metal and circuits. "Let's go," they said, smiling. "The stars are waiting." And as the ship pulsed and breathed with life, the station felt smaller, the galaxy larger, and the possibilities infinite. Humans had unlocked something no one else could, and that was only the beginning. The old starship hummed like a living being, its crystal core glowing brightly as Alex moved through the cockpit. Every light, every pulse, and every holographic display seemed to respond to the mechanic's thoughts, intentions, and emotions. Weeks of careful study, trial, and patient exploration had led to this moment. The starship was fully awake, and it was ready to reveal its secrets. Alex had spent hours connecting with the Starlane map. Paths through uncharted star systems unfolded in 3 dimensions, showing hidden wormholes, habitable planets, and clusters of stars that had never been recorded. These were discoveries that no alien civilization and no AI had managed to uncover. The ship had waited centuries for a life form capable of understanding more than mechanics and technology, capable of understanding life itself. Alex stood at the cockpit console, staring at the map. "It's incredible," the mechanic whispered. "So many worlds, so many possibilities." The ship responded with a gentle vibration, almost like a nod. It was alive, and it seemed to recognize Alex not just as a pilot, but as a partner. Outside the station, the first reactions were starting to appear. Engineers and travelers had gathered to observe the ancient starship. Some were skeptical at first, others astonished. Aliens from distant systems visiting the station for trade had heard of the living human ship and were curious to see if the rumors were true. Mara, Alex's trusted friend, watched quietly. "I never imagined it could respond like this," she said. "Humans, we really can do something special." Alex smiled, thinking about the weeks of trial and error, the quiet nights of observation, and the moments of doubt. "It wasn't just about fixing a ship," Alex said. "It was about understanding life." And that's something humans, we do differently. The ship pulsed in agreement, lights along the hull glowing softly in rhythm with Alex's heartbeat. The crystal chamber opened fully now, revealing not just maps but databases of knowledge, recordings of civilizations, star systems, ecosystems, and technologies long lost to time. Alex realized that this ship was not just a vehicle. It was a guardian of knowledge, a key to understanding the galaxy. Curious aliens approached the station to witness the starship firsthand. They observed Alex interfacing with the ship, moving hands, focusing thoughts, and even humming softly. No alien had succeeded before. The ship remained silent for centuries, ignoring countless visitors, but it responded to Alex. One alien engineer, a tall being with translucent skin and eyes that shimmered like liquid metal, stepped forward. "How is this possible?" they asked. "No one from my civilization could unlock it." "Not even our most advanced minds. But a human, a simple human mechanic?" Alex shrugged, smiling faintly. "It's not about being advanced. It's about understanding life. Curiosity, patience, empathy. Humans have a way of connecting with life that others can't." The aliens watched in awe as Alex demonstrated the ship's abilities. The star map rotated, shifted, and expanded as Alex traced paths with fingers, mind, and heart. Hidden wormholes lit up, revealing safe routes through unexplored space. Habitable planets were marked with symbols that indicated resources, life, and opportunities for exploration. The ship responded instantly, as if it had been waiting for exactly this kind of understanding. This is incredible," Mara whispered. "You didn't just awaken a ship. You showed the galaxy what humans are capable of." Alex nodded, eyes bright. "We're not the strongest or the fastest, but we can understand, imagine, and create. That's why the ship chose us." The station AI sent a cautious message. "Warning. Energy readings off scale. Unknown technology in active state." Alex laughed softly.
Not danger, discovery.
The ship's systems were fully online now. Every panel, every crystal, every holographic projection responded instantly to Alex's touch and thought. For the first time, the ship moved outside the repair bay under its own power. Slowly it hovered above the station, engines glowing softly. It was alive, majestic, and human-guided. Visitors and aliens watched in awe as Alex piloted the ship through the docking bay, executing movements that no one else could manage. The ship glided with elegance, like a living creature obeying a partner's thoughts. Alex activated the Starlane network fully. Hidden routes lit up across the galaxy. Worlds that had been unreachable were now within humanity's grasp. Planets suitable for colonies, star systems rich in resources, and even ancient ruins were revealed, all preserved and highlighted by the ship's intelligence. The aliens were astonished. "No AI could do this," one said. "Only a human. They think differently."
Alex smiled. It's not just thinking differently, it's seeing life, respecting it, and learning from it.
That's what makes humans unique. Mara joined Alex in the cockpit. "The galaxy is going to change because of this," she said. "Humans just proved something important. We can do what others cannot." The ship pulsed again, almost like a heartbeat in agreement. Its crystal chamber glowed brighter, filling the bay with soft light. Alex realized that the ship itself was celebrating humanity's understanding. It had waited centuries for this moment, for someone who could connect with it fully, and now it had found that partner in Alex. Weeks passed, and the station became the center of excitement across several sectors. Humans, once underestimated by many alien civilizations, were now recognized as beings capable of understanding life and technology in a way others could not. The ship, fully awakened and guided by Alex, became a symbol of human ingenuity, patience, and creativity. Alex continued to explore the ship, learning more about its hidden abilities. The star map revealed star lanes that allowed safe travel across previously uncharted regions, with minimal risk to travelers and ecosystems. The ship also contained databases of civilizations that had risen and fallen centuries ago, preserving knowledge and history that would otherwise have been lost. One day, as Alex hovered over the holographic map, the ship responded to a subtle thought. A path to a distant system opened, leading to a planet with lush green forests, vast oceans, and a breathable atmosphere. Alex realized this was a perfect opportunity for humanity to explore without harming the environment. Guided by the ship's intelligence, "This is just the beginning," Alex said aloud. "We can explore, learn, and protect life at the same time." The ship pulsed in agreement, responding to Alex's focus and intention. Together, human and Starship were not just discovering new worlds. They were preserving them, proving that exploration did not require domination or destruction. News spread across the galaxy. A human mechanic had awakened an ancient starship, unlocked a star lane network, and demonstrated a new kind of intelligence, human intelligence combined with empathy and creativity. Aliens who had once doubted humans now recognized them as capable, clever. Back on the station, Alex prepared for the first official journey with the ship. Supplies were loaded carefully, routes planned using the Starlane network, and all precautions were taken to respect the life forms and ecosystems discovered. Mara stood beside Alex. "Are you nervous?" she asked. Alex shook their head, smiling. "Excited. We've learned so much. The galaxy is out there, and now humans have a chance to explore it responsibly. That's what this ship wanted, and that's what we're going to do." The engines glowed softly as the ship hovered above the station. Alex's hands moved lightly over the controls, thought and intention guiding the ship. Lights pulsed in rhythm with the heartbeat of both human and starship, and then, slowly, the ship lifted into space. Outside, the stars stretched endlessly, uncharted and full of possibility. The station became a small dot behind them as the ancient starship, fully awakened, glided through the cosmos, guided by human intuition and care. Alex looked at the glowing crystal and whispered, "We're ready. Let's go find what's out there." The ship pulsed in response, engines flaring gently, lights dancing along its hull. It was no longer abandoned. It had a partner. It had a purpose. And humanity had proven that it could rise to meet challenges, solve mysteries, and explore life itself in a way that no other species could. As the starship disappeared into the endless stretch of stars, one thought echoed in Alex's mind. Humans had unlocked what others could not through power or knowledge alone, but through curiosity, creativity, empathy, and patience. And that was the true legacy of humanity, the ability to understand life, awaken wonders, and journey boldly into the unknown. The galaxy had opened its doors, and humans, guided by a single mechanic in an ancient living starship, were ready to step through. The adventure had only begun, but the stars shone brighter that night, reflecting the light of a species that dared to understand life, and in doing so, had proven that humans could achieve what others could not.